Is everybody awake here? I know you guys don't want to be here. Who wants to be here? Come on, raise your hand if you want to be here. And keep it real. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to raise your hand. I'm not forcing you. Okay, because I do want to be here. I want to be here. I know you guys don't want to be here, but I want to be here. Because I know one of you, I'm hoping one of you is going to pick up something out of this. Is there something you want to share? You two, right there? You sure? Okay. We respect you, and we expect the same thing, because we volunteer our time here. And when you start falling asleep, you start chatting with each other and not paying attention, that's disrespectful. Speaking about respect, how many of you guys respect your parents? Be honest. So the people that raise their hands, how many of you are in trouble? People that raise your hands, keep them up. If you're in trouble and you say that you respect your parents. So, okay. So you respect your parents, but you're in trouble. What do you think that is? You think that's respecting them? That's disrespecting them. That's telling them that you don't give a damn, that they worked their asses off for you to provide a roof over your head, food on the table, and clothes on your back. Because you're out there getting in trouble, doing things that you shouldn't be doing. What happens if you disrespect somebody in prison? And I'm talking about if you're in a high custody level prison. What happens? Does anybody even know? Does anybody know about respect in prison? Anybody? Go ahead. Go ahead. You said, what happened? You gonna fight? I'm gonna tell you just one story that I've seen with disrespect. I've seen somebody cut somebody off. You guys know what the chow line is when you're standing in line in the chow hall? There's a whole line of inmates waiting for food. Some bright inmate decided to cut off 30 dudes thinking that he had somewhere to go in prison. This dude got stuck so many times. Still, you guys know what stuck is? Okay. This guy got stuck so many times, and the guy that stuck him had 2 life sentences. So do you think he really cared if he got another one? Do you think he cared? And this guy probably found out, he probably didn't even know what hit him. He's probably wondering, what did I do? He probably didn't even know. When you disrespect somebody in prison, you step on somebody's shoe, you bump into somebody, you make sure you look at them in the eye, and you make sure you say, excuse me. Don't ever cut somebody off in the chow hall if you ever go to a higher institution. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, that could cost you your life. And if you think disrespecting your parents don't have anything to do with that, that's where it starts. Because if you're disrespecting your parents, that means you don't give a SHIT about anyone else. So you gotta think about that. I'm gonna introduce our next speaker, Mr. Arion. He's 46 years old and has served a total of 12 months in custody. His purpose for joining Real Talk is to be a positive influence for the youth. He wishes to help them through their developmental stages and encourage them to make positive choices. He is employed full-time. Mr. Arion believes the program can make a difference as Real Talk allows for the youth to see that there are individuals that want to help them. Give him a warm welcome.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My story is one that, just like the rest of these gentlemen and women, I was out there, I was using drugs, alcohol, crack cocaine, speed, meth. I was also out there gang banging. I was certainly not one of the big time dope dealers. I used to hang around big time dope dealers. You know, a lot of my friends did that. And I was just, you know, I was pretty much a foot soldier. I was just out there wanting to be accepted, you know. And I believe that was just low self-esteem. Today, you know, it's not like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Those things happened years ago. 96 is when I got clean and sober. So I've been clean and sober for a total of 20 years. I started out, you know, just drinking a little bit, you know, hanging out with the fellas, smoking weed. That led to other stuff. Eventually, it led me to smoking crack, and then, you know, I mixed that with methamphetamines. Just a real bad combination. You know, couldn't. The one thing that did happen to me is I was locked up behind a friend of mine's dope. He had I was hanging out with one of those big time dope dealers. It was my friend. You know what I'm saying? How many of us have homeboys out there? Friends, you know what I'm saying? And some of them can be, you know, some friends are truly good friends, but those are the friends that encourage you to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? How many of you guys have friends out there that encourage you to do the right thing? To go play a sport, to go to school and finish your work, or come to, you know, I got a younger boy who's 15. How many of you do have friends that encourage you to do the right thing? Right on, right on. My son, who's 15, he has a friend, he came over last night, this story, he came over, and my boy is having a hard time with with one of his classes in middle school, and he has a partner that came over and said, you know, and I asked him, you know, I said, this is school night, so why is your friend coming over? Well, he's coming over to help me, you know, a good friend of his, and I was like, you know, those are the kind of friends I would want my kids to have, and that's the kind of friends I would want you guys to have, you know what I'm saying? Because we come out here because we care about you, man. We want you to do the right thing. We want you to be successful, and not go through the things that we went through. You know, out there while I was out there in the streets, I didn't do a lot of time in prison. I didn't make it to prison. I did a lot of jail time, but it wasn't a lot. It was just like, at times, they would let me go. It was like Ms. Colette was saying, they gave me chance after chance. Luckily, I didn't make it to the penitentiary. I don't know how well I would have done it there. I don't know if I would want, I know I didn't want to be there. I didn't even want to be in jail, but I made choices that put me in those situations, you know, because I was following after other folks, you know? So my thing is that, you know, we try to let you guys, you know, we want you guys to make the right choices. We want you to make the right choices, you know. We know it's hard out there today, you know what I'm saying, with everything that's going on out there in life. I'm a firm believer in God. How many of you guys believe in God? How many of y'all attend church? Right on, that's a good thing. Praise God, you know what I'm saying, man? I know that's, for me, that's an audience of one. Now, today, I don't care what people think about me, you know what I'm saying? It affects me sometimes a little bit because I'm human, but I have an audience of one, man. I want God to accept me more than I want anybody else to accept me. That's who I have, that's the audience of one. That's who I do what I do when I'm out here, when I speak to y'all, when I'm out in public, what I do in the privacy of my home. You'll see that I don't change, man. I'm not one way over here and then another way over here. That's how I was when I was out there. You know, I was playing. I was in high school, man, and I was in the high school band in a neighborhood that I was bussed out to, and then I would come home to the southeast. I'm from San Diego, southeast San Diego, and I was hanging out with cats that I was gangbanging with. Pyru. Anybody know where blood, pyro, heard of the, terminology? Yeah, that's what I was doing. So I was playing in the band over here, man, and I was coming back over here. So I was playing two sides of the fence, I was trying to be this school kid that was trying to do the right thing, playing the band, and at the same time, but I was coming home and I was running the streets with these fellas, you know what I'm saying? But I had the smarts to do the school, you know what I'm saying? But over here, my brother once told me, this is my older brother, and he used to sell dope. And he told me one day, he said, man, he told me this life ain't for you, man. This is not your personality. I can see it myself. But I didn't want to listen to him. Probably pretty much how you all don't want to listen to your peer or your parents or us at this point. So I didn't tell him that to his face, but I thought to my own self, I'll show him. I'll go out here and I'll be this successful, I guess, gangster. I don't know how any success could come out of that. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up getting shot, 12 gauge shotgun by this rival gangbanger from the coast. We were standing out there. I was liquored up. I was drunk. I was with about four other gentlemen that was with me. The guy says, we said, one of the guys I was with said, where are you from? You know what I'm saying? And the dude was just standing in the shadows by a door in an apartment complex. And he kept asking, where are you from? And then the guy I was with said, since he wouldn't answer me, he said, well, this is our set, blood. And then dude said, what? And he said, this is our set. And then he said, what? And all I heard was, what? Cuz? And that was it. And all I seen was, it was at night, so I just seen fire coming from the shotgun barrel. I guess the alcohol slowed my reaction time. So I took the brunt of the blast. And then, I got it up in the side, in the inner thigh, and then on the outside, because I was in a running motion. But anyway, I took a few steps, fell down to the ground. The dude was he was right behind me. If it hadn't have been for another person, it was a gun battle. So if it hadn't been for one of the guys I was with shooting at him, I probably would have been dead right now, because he was coming up on me with the shotgun, and I'm pretty sure he was going to finish me off. So I thank God that I'm here today, man. I thank God that I'm my own man today. I'm not out here running behind somebody trying to be a foot soldier or trying to follow someone else after what they perceive to be success. My thing is now I work for sanitation department, Republic Services. I throw garbage for a living, and I have 5 beautiful kids. You know what I'm saying? None of them see me out there in the streets. All they know me is their father now. Anything in the past that I tell them about, I tell them just for the same reason I tell y'all. I don't want you to repeat the same thing that I did. I have a beast of a son. How many, I think she already asked, how many guys do you play sports? Yeah, I was kind of athletic too, man, but I really didn't get into sports. I liked the music too. I did get into that, but I didn't have any success at that because of things I was doing out there in the streets. But yeah, I got a boy, he's a beast on the field. But check this, I got one son who's 19 and one is 15. My son that's 15, he's a big kid. He's a lovable guy, but he's a beast on the football field. And I had another son that was playing football, my 19-year-old, but guess where he's at? Can anybody take a guess? He's in jail. He never seen me out there in the streets. He's heard, I've told him the stories so that he would avoid those things. So now he's sitting up in Clark County Detention Center right now at 19, looking at the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, for a home invasion. Because he was looking for those things that you see, that's all I hear, Gucci, Can anybody tell me what slave means? I don't know what that is. That a new word or am I off? What is that? Slave? What it mean?
Slave?
Yeah.
It's like a female being like
Fashion? Oh, okay. Yeah, my daughter said that to me last night. I was like, man, I don't know where y'all come from with this stuff. But anyway, so he's sitting up there right now. He's sitting up there right now. Don't get me wrong, I love my son. You know, we went at it a few times. You remember about that respect for your parents? It was a curfew problem with me and my son. I told him, you know, you got to be in the house at a certain time. He was at 16 at the time. He didn't want to listen to me. So he was a big dude too, you know what I'm saying? But he chose to knuckle up with Pop. So we had to do that because I love him too much to allow him to go out there and do that. So I had to do something. And that's the only thing I knew, I knew I could do. You know, he wouldn't listen, and we talked about it, and then he raised his hand, and so I had to raise my hands. But anyway, you know, I still love my boy, but I'm telling you, the potential is there to go, because he wanted those things like Gucci belts, and a lot of things I wasn't gonna pay for them $400 or $500 belts or whatever they wear today. And I couldn't afford it. And I guess he wanted those things, so he started doing things to get those things. And those things eventually ended him up right now looking at 5 to 10 years in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? So, for a home invasion. You know, going up in somebody's house trying to take their things, you know, that can get you shot too, you know. But other than that, man, I come up here and these men and gentlemen, these ladies and gentlemen come up here to try to tell you the things to avoid that we didn't, you know what I'm saying? We care for you, we really do, we really do. You know, I see a bunch of faces, you remind me of my daughters, my son, you know what I'm saying? And I want to see y'all be successful, man. I mean, how many of y'all want to be successful? How many want to be successful, successful in life? Not with drugs and nothing, but by, you know, a job or a career. Going to college, getting out of college, making something of yourself, you know what I'm saying? I told my son, you can be whatever you want to be, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be a sanitation man, you know what I'm saying? They make good money, be that, you know what I'm saying? Just take care of your family. I don't know, man, we just want y'all to be successful, that's all. Just want you to be successful and not end up where we ended up. So that's it. That's all for me. Thank you.